Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's lesson we are going to discuss about simultaneous equation. A simultaneous equation is a system of solving an equation that has two variables which are unknown. So in these variables you can solve this type of equation using two parts or use two types, that is linear equation and non-linear simultaneous equation. So for the linear simultaneous equation, it uses only one power variable. The variable of this power has only one. Whereas for the non-linear, it has more than one. So the variable of this equation must be greater than one. So in today's lesson, we are going to see how we're going to solve this type of problem, wherein if the power is 1 in terms of linear and when the power is greater than 1, which is non-linear. And of course, we have three methods to solve this type of equation. That is, the first we have the elimination method, the second one is the substitution method, and the graphical method. But to this equation today, according to this lesson we have today, we are just going to consider only two aspects, which is the elimination method and the substitution method. So we have two problems on the board. You can see one is for elimination method and the other one is for substitution method. But what is elimination method? For elimination method, this equation, these two equations we are using, we try to add this equation, then we subtract, we apply a logic wherein we can use the coefficients of these variables, then we try to eliminate one of the variables on the equation. So when we eliminate this variable, then we find the unknown. That's just elimination method. So for substitution method, of course, we can use one of the equation and make it a subject of formula. So when we make this equation a subject of formula, then we try to substitute this equation in the previous equation. So we'll find again the unknown on these equations. So let's see here on the board, as I have explained everything on the board. For simultaneous equation, just involve a system of solving an equation wherein two or more variables are related using multiple equations. That's why you can see here, we have equation 1 and equation 2. Here again for nonlinear, we have here, this one is nonlinear. As you can see, the power of this variable, this unknown variable is 2. This one is 1. So this one, of course, one of the equations supposed to have a power of greater than 1. Because this power is greater than 1, so therefore we refer to this equation as nonlinear. Whereas for this type of equation here on the board, as you can see, the power of these variables is only 1. So this is x to the 1 and this is y to the 1. Of course, here again is 1 and here is 1. So for the methods, we have three methods as you can see. We have elimination method, substitution method, and this graphical method. But for today's lesson, we are only going to solve two problems here on the board. The one for elimination method and this for substitution method. So let's see here on the board. This we say was solve the simultaneous equation using elimination method. So the first step in this type of equation is, so to solve this equation, we'll first try to relate this equation into two parts. We refer to this first one as equation 1 and this as equation 2. So now we can say 2x plus 3y equals to 8, equation 1. And this one is 3x plus 2y equals to 7, equation 2. So from this equation, as the name implies, elimination method, here we try to use the coefficients, we interchange the coefficients here and we subtract. Because here, since the powers are the same, this one here, the signs are the same, then we use the coefficients here to interchange so that we try to eliminate one of these variables. Then we apply a minus sign here. Either of the equation, you can use the minus sign either equation 1 or equation 2. Just the purpose here for you to eliminate one of the variables. So now let's see here. So this coefficient we interchange. Here this we say 3 into, we use this 3, then we say 2x plus 3y equals to 8. These are our new equation 1. Then here we say 2 into 3x plus 2y equals to 7. These are equation 2 now. So now, let's try to multiply this equation. Here we have now 6x. Let's apply a negative sign here. 6x plus 9y equals to 24. And here minus 6x minus 4y equals to minus 14. So now you can see from this equation, this one here on the right hand side, these on the right hand side are all constants, and this here on the extreme left here has a sign that is negatives, because if we try to subtract this 9 and this 4, we can get a variable, but if we subtract minus 6 and 6, it will give us 0. So definitely here, this equation, we cancel this equation, then this one gives us 5y equals to, so now 24 minus 14, which is 10. So we'll try to make y the subject here. So by dividing both sides by 5, so our y here will be 2, because 5 into 10 will give you 2. So now our y here is 2. We can use either of the equation. We'll either use this equation 1 or equation 2 to find our x variable. So now let's see. We say we let 6y equals to 2. We take equation 1 to find x. So from equation 1 here says 2x plus 3y equals to 8. But our y here is equals to 2. So we substitute y in this equation 1. So now we say 2x plus 3 into 2 equals to 8. So now our 2x plus 6 equals to 8. So now we transpose. So 2x equals to 8 minus 6. So 2x now becomes 8 minus 6, which is 2. So we divide both sides by 2. So our x is equals to 1. So therefore, the variables, the unknown variables are, x equals to 1 and y equals to 2. So now let's see here this second problem, but we need to efface this part. So here our second problem says solve the simultaneous equation using substitution method. Here again, this type of equation, as you can see here, we have two equations here. So the first one says x squared plus y squared equals to 10. Let's say this is equation 1, and this is x plus y equals to 4. This is equation 2. So now by using substitution method, we'll first try to make one of these equations. Of course, as you can see here, the best equation to make as unknown here is this second equation. So we'll make x as subject in equation 2. So here we'll make x as subject. So now we can say x plus y equals to 4. So by making this x the subject, to transpose this now becomes x equals to 4 minus y. So this equation, we label this equation as equation 3. So now we take equation 3, put in this equation 1. Put equation 3 into 1. So we put this equation 3 into 1. Equation 1 says x squared plus y squared equals to 10. So now by putting this equation into this now becomes 4 minus y all square plus y is equals to 10. So now we expand this equation. We expand this equation here using this method by saying, we say a minus b all squared, this formula that gives us a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So we use this method to expand this equation, which gives us this 4 squared, which is 16, minus 8y plus y squared, b, this is y, plus y squared plus this y equals to 10. So now we try to rearrange this. We try to rearrange here. This y squared plus y squared will give us 2y squared. So 2y squared minus 8y plus 16. We transpose this 10 here. Minus 16 minus 10 equals to 0. So now here we have 2y squared minus 8y plus 6 equals to 0. So as you can see from this equation, all these numbers are divisible by 2. So we divide both by 2, by 2, by 2. So now we have here y squared minus 4y plus 3 equals to 0. So now from this equation here, from this equation, we can use now quadratic equation, wherein we try to find the sum, the product, and factor. So basically for this one, the sum here, the sum is minus 4. The product is 3. And the factors are, here we find two numbers that we add, will give us minus 4. And when we multiply, will give us 3. So these numbers are 3, minus 3, and minus 1. Because when we add minus 3 and minus 1, it will give us 4. When we multiply minus times minus, will give us plus. 3 times 1 is 3. So now we substitute this into this equation. Here now we have y squared minus 3y minus y plus 3. So now we try to factorize here y into y minus 3 minus 1 into y minus 3. Okay, factorize, then we eliminate one of these brackets here. You can either eliminate this. So this now becomes y minus 3, all this equals to 0, So y minus 3 is equals to 0, and y minus 1 equals to 0. So our y here is equals to 3, and our y here is equals to 1. So now we can take this equation, we can take either of these variables here to substitute to this equation. This now will be from x. Now we find our y from these variables. So our x is equals to 4 minus y So now we'll try to substitute y into this equation, which gives us 4 minus 3 for this first one, which is 1. And if we use again the 1, we get 4 minus 1, which is 3. So as you can see from the types of equation we have here, this one is linear simultaneous equation. So we use the linear simultaneous equation to solve using the elimination method we treated previously. And this non-linear simultaneous equation, we use the substitution method to solve. So basically, these are the methods used to solve this type of equation. Of course, the next video will try to treat this graphical method because you can use it to solve and draw some graph. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe on the channel, like, comment, and share.